go back.
All power to the people. It's the Bruh Listen Podcast. Black podcast focusing on social political issues and how they affect our community. With your hosts, Bria Ward, Cedric Warren, Matt Smiley, and Anthony Rogers. Bruh Listen. What's up, Bruh
Hey,
Nation?
you like that, boy? I know you like that.
Tank out here wilding already.
That was that Jason. No, Jason Michael Myers.
That was Michael Myers.
Boy.
I don't know if you heard it on the intro, but he decided that this week he was gonna mess up the intro with some Michael Myers. So that's
I ain't messing up. I improved it.
that's it. That's great. So we back again, episode number 4, Bruh Listen Podcast. We gonna start off the thing today with a quote: "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." That's Dr. King, a quote from him, one of his many quotes and great quotes. This week we celebrated, well not celebrated actually, we observed the anniversary of his assassination. And what we're going to start off the day talking about is Dr. King's legacy. What legacy did he leave for us? What did he instill in people, and what exactly are we gaining from it? So I'm gonna start off with Tank, since he was doing the Michael Myers today. Tank, what do you feel like the legacy of Dr. King is?
The legacy of Martin Luther King is pretty much toward the end of his life, all of that shit, the revelations that he was having about white people being evil, disappeared. No, not disappeared. It appeared because the whole time he was for equality and us integrating with them, but in the end he was like, we done integrated into a burning house. So all that the white people will remember is the good old boy, good old Martin Luther. All he did was sit at the counter, and those racist, the racist white people that was probably their uncles and shit, and aunties, fuck with him just for sitting at the counter. That's all they remember. But they don't remember when he turned revolutionary towards the end, and he came closer toward Malcolm X's side of the game, were pretty much like, fuck these crackers, we need to get our own. And Marcus Garvey shit. All about self-sufficiency, being efficient for ourselves. Because,
of course, but they're not going to remember that because, like you said, they like docile, they like dormant. Bria, to you, in your opinion, what do you think Dr. King's legacy is that he left? What kind of legacy he left?
Just a profound black leader in the black community. But at the same time, I feel that everything he talked about nonviolence and everything like that, like Tank said, towards the end, he started to realize that none of that was going to change how white people felt about black people. There's not going to be any real integration, and even if we do integrate, they're never going to feel that way about us as their comrades, as their brothers, as their just people. They're never going to feel that way.
Yeah, that's true. Matt, Uncle Matt, go and drop the wisdom on us, man. What you think Dr. King's legacy was, bro?
So the power of Dr. King's life is that the conversations that we want to have every year, all the time, with our majority culture, white America, by him being made into a federal holiday, by us making this speech, something that we teach our kids about every February. That one speech brings the conversation back to the forefront. Hey, have we reached the mountaintop? So many of our concerns never get voiced in the public square, get attention from the mainstream media. But guess what? In February, we can count on CNN doing Martin Luther King. Where are we now? We can count on all kinds of specials to at least get our topics heard. And I think that's the power of his life that a lot of people don't give credit to. Maybe he didn't get us to a point of equality, but he has kept the conversation flowing for 50 years after his death to say, hey, listen, America, you still ain't made good on your promise.
Die for this shit, my nigga. How many of them niggas that talking shit about Martin Luther King wouldn't die by the shit? They don't die for it. Put the whole family at risk.
From the
Niggas
beginning.
scared about that. What about the kids and all that?
And he was a young man.
Family at risk.
This wasn't a man who was 50 years old,
Right.
established in a career,
Young.
and deciding, hey, I'm going to take on this new path. This was a young man that dedicated his life to, you know what, my people ain't living good. I want better for my people. And whatever the cost, I'm willing to bear that. You got to respect
what
that.
the youngsters doing today?
Nothing. And see, I think that's what the legacy is. I think he showed something, man. He showed sacrifice. because he gave the ultimate sacrifice. He died for it. And then at the same time, he also showed that, like what Matt was saying, you got to stand up. You got to do something, man. And he decided, like you said, at a young age, hey, man, I got to make this happen for my people. I gotta strive, you know, for the best of the best. But I will say this too, man, like part of it too for me with Dr. King or whatever, my views on Dr. King are that I think he's a great black leader, one of the greatest black leaders of all time. I think he's a great man. But I also think that, in my opinion, it taught me something about like what's gonna be the outcome. You gotta look at it like this. So Malcolm X, another great black leader, he was like by any means necessary, right? And he ended up on the slab,
Damn right,
dead. And then Dr. King, who now in hindsight, because hindsight is 2020, in hindsight we had the anniversary of his death, and every TV show
love
that
thy
day,
neighbor.
yeah, every TV show that day, they was talking about Dr. King and talking about how much they love Dr. King and stuff like that.
White people
But
love
during the time of Dr. King, they didn't love Dr. King. They
But the
hated
same,
Dr.
but the
King.
same thing happened to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
when he
true.
said, "I'm not going to fight the Viet Cong. The Viet Cong ain't did nothing to me." White America hated him.
Yeah, they did.
Then at the end of his life, where he couldn't speak,
They loved
where he
him.
couldn't rebel, oh, he was the greatest.
He was the
Oh,
greatest.
what a
'Cause
wonderful
he
man.
looked like you know why he looked like a humble, docile. Dude.
That's it.
He wasn't the
That-
same.
he wasn't a threat now.
He was still the same inside, but all they could see was a docile nigga or whatever. That's what they want, man.
Man, it's mad crazy to me because like with the Ali thing or whatever, right? It's crazy how much people act like when Ali passed away recently. It's crazy how much people act like they love Muhammad Ali. Y'all ain't love
Fuck
Muhammad
out of
Ali. Y'all hated Muhammad Ali. But I feel like that same way about Dr. King. It was a video of a white dude, on the steps of a state senate or something like that, and they were talking about changing laws towards the police or whatever. And he called Dr. King Martin Luther Coon. Right? I don't know if you seen that video. He was like,
Who
no, it was a white dude.
A white dude?
He called Dr. King Martin Luther Coon. He was like, we can't be having Martin Luther King out here like that. I was like,
Can't do it.
Well, I tell you what, I like
Wow.
the boldness.
yeah.
Somebody slap the shit out
But
of
he
him.
got caught. He basically caught himself. He was like, oh, Martin Luther King or whatever, right? So this was just like a baby boomer, older white dude, right? And that show you how they felt for real.
Yeah.
But I bet when he amongst like a group of mixed culture or mixed people, mixed company, he would say, oh yeah, man, Dr. King, because you know what they said when Black Lives Matter people wanted to protest in Baltimore and burn stuff down. That's not how Dr. King would have wanted it done.
But see, the crazy thing is, people talk about Dr. King because he advocated for nonviolence as if he was a punk.
They love
Right.
This man went out with knowing that if this white sheriff from this backwoods town pull out the billy club and beat me to death on this sidewalk,
gone.
that's the end of it.
Yeah.
He went to jail behind his cause. So the fact that he didn't exercise force doesn't mean he was a punk about it.
Right.
He just decided to use a
right.
different kind of power.
Boy, you open my why didn't you look at it like that?
Yeah, boy, you can't be
Because
no punk if you sitting at the lunch
how many
counter.
dudes going out and marching
Right.
and protesting now with
Right.
the risk of, you mean I could catch a charge behind this?
That's what I think is so sad, because he did all of these things for us and he died ultimately. And who is doing that now? You get what I mean? Like, there's nobody speaking out. There's nobody saying anything or standing up for us like he did. So it's like his legacy is living on in us, but ain't nobody like really trying to carry it
And
out now.
it's good that you said that, Bria, because that's actually my next question to y'all is like, who is our Dr. King now? Like, do we even have a Dr. King?
Barack Obama, niggas love that.
I think
motherfucker.
Barack Obama should be the Dr. King.
You out your motherfucking mind.
Why?
Boy.
He
Don't
smoking
get me-
dope.
But we
What's
finna,
wrong with you?
boy, this podcast finna go upside down, goddamn it, if y'all comparing
Why not
Barack
Obama?
Obama to Martin Luther King.
You crazy.
You know
What's
why we
wrong
can't?
with Obama?
You know why we can't compare him? First of all, he was so inclusive. He would put if white people, he complacent with the status quo.
He was not. Now see, now
I
you
disagree.
got to
He was
talk
not.
right now. Because when Eric Holder said we're going to stop prosecuting people for minor felonies related to drugs,
I feel
non-violent
that.
offenders,
Oh, I feel
that's
that.
a real change.
Yeah, I feel that.
That made a real impact. Stop and frisk.
Yeah, he said no.
Come on,
See, that's
man.
My thing. I feel
See,
like
we
Obama don't
we
get enough credit for the shit.
I feel like it too.
I
I
want to give Obama credit where credit is due, but we can't act like he was a black civil rights activist. All right?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
'cause
we.
he was.
Let me tell you.
But
how-
go ahead.
Go ahead, CJ.
I mean, I'm with Tank on this one. How can you say that he's a black civil rights activist? I mean, I understand that he made speeches about people being killed and things like that. And I know people
he
were.
never said the word black.
I know that.
People.
everybody wanted him to make like a hoopla and start the revolution and everything like that, but he couldn't do that. But
I
at the
never
same,
think that nigga was starting a revolution.
some people know. Somebody
Give
actually
me
wanted
something
him
else.
to. But I
'Cause
still
I'm
have
with Barry.
But I still have the question of how was he a civil rights activist?
I got. See, Matt, Bria, you done made a good point or whatever, and I forgot what I was saying. Go ahead on, Matt, and this will come back to me.
All right. Well, let
me.
me ask you this: for all the boycotts and sit-ins Martin Luther King organized, how do they compare to Barack Obama mobilizing the black vote?
What?
We got up as a people and said, you know what, we're gonna make something happen. We gonna be we
That's
gonna
true, though.
we
Martin
gonna move
Luther
the
King
needle.
mobilized
Guess what?
black
Guess
vote.
what?
Not
Let me
like
tell you.
Barack.
Let me tell you how different Barack is from everybody else. What happened as soon as Barack left the ballot? Niggas sat home and said, my vote
Hillary
don't
showed
matter.
not the
What is different
president.
than Martin Luther
Hillary
King?
You got a
showed
point
not the
there.
president.
Martin Luther,
Okay.
Hillary ain't shit. Fuck that hoe.
And
But
that's fine
look,
too, and that has more to do with the DNC.
That's,
Yeah,
that's a
the DNC,
different, that's a
Hillary
different
ain't
situation.
shit. Fuck that bitch.
But bro, we know that when it comes to elections, you get two choices.
Yeah.
You can play yourself if you want to and try to say you can write in Bernie
And throw your
Sanders
vote
or
away.
vote for
Fuck
Gary
Bernie
Johnson
Sanders.
or whatever. You get two choices, my nigga. Your choices was Trump and Hillary. That was your only, or you could choose not to vote. Or whatever.
And motherfuckers
But
sat
them the
back and
only
said,
two
I chose
I'm
not
gonna
to
make
vote.
no
Of course you
choice.
chose
But get-
because fuck both of them pale faces.
But what that get us?
And let me
That
tell
got us
and let me-
strong.
and let me tell
Yes,
you-
he got a trunk, which ain't fucking with me or whatever, and it might get worse. Shit gotta get worse before it get better, but we can't go with the status quo
But
of just keep
How it's gonna get better?
bullshitting with these.
How it's gonna get better? See, here go
shit
my-
gotta get worse before it
Here
get
go
better.
why. Here go how I look at it. or whatever,
Ain't nobody
right?
voting.
But wait, here go how I look
Wait
at
a
it.
minute. Don't believe that, bro nation. Make sure you register
I
in your
told you.
local district. Your vote
I want
counts.
niggas to vote.
If you didn't watch the Roy Moore election, where black women came out
Exactly.
and flipped the ballot,
And flipped the ballot in
flipped the seat,
Alabama in
and
the
flipped the
seat
seat in
that
the heart of
never been flipped.
I
Alabama.
want niggas to vote.
Okay.
But niggas don't vote.
No,
And
no,
niggas
no,
ain't gonna
no.
vote if we
No,
had
I
Hillary
just-
Clinton.
no, niggas do vote. They voted for Barack Obama.
I know, but they ain't gonna vote if we had Hillary Clinton.
So he did
Because
have
you
an
gonna keep
impact.
The status quo.
So he no, but
of
see,
Democrats fucking
there's the
niggas
thing.
over.
You got progress, you got the status quo, and you got hustling backwards. Trump is hustling backwards. Your choice was status quo or possible progress with Hillary, and niggas say I'm gonna sit home and not do nothing, and now we sliding backwards.
Y'all
And
got
if you
too
don't
much.
think that's true, your Secretary of Education, can anyone name her?
There you go.
Y'all got too much
That's
faith.
his
Y'all,
boss.
Can you name it?
y'all got too much. Y'all
Yes,
got too much
Miss-
faith in the goddamn Hillary Clinton.
But it ain't about Hillary
It's
Clinton.
not
See,
about
that's what
her.
my point was. That's
Yeah.
what I was about to get
It's,
to.
the devil I know is better than the devil I
Thank
don't.
you. That's my point. It's just like my analogy. You heard this analogy from me before. We slaves, right? You got a choice. Your master is a good master to you. You still a slave.
Neither one.
But wait, you still a slave.
I know where you're going.
Hold up. Let me get my point because Bro Nation don't know.
They
the
don't
point.
know.
They know.
Hold on.
They don't
Hold
know.
on.
You gonna be too long with it.
Tell them
Hold
about the
on.
master.
Good master, bad master.
Listen.
Who you gonna pick?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got a good master you can go to. You got a bad master you can go to. Who you gonna go to? If you choose not to choose one of those people, you're a fucking idiot. Because you gonna go to the bad master and then you fuck.
Both of them gonna fuck you in the ass.
But it's
Who you
easier
gonna
They
go
not
to?
though, because
No,
that's
you
what
gonna
make
go-
that's what make one
Can I say one
good.
thing?
That's what make one
One thing I
good.
need to know. So both of them good man. You gonna go to the one that's gonna use lube or whatever instead of the one that's just gonna fuck you raw.
You
That's
damn
right.
right.
That's
'Cause I
right.
want
But you only
to-
got two choices.
You only got two choices.
I only got
Right.
two
So
choices.
to sit back
Get
and not
lubed
make
up and get fucked in the ass.
to
all
sit
right?
back
That's where we at.
to sit
I'm
back
good.
and not make a choice about your own life
Right,
is
that's
lazy
crazy.
and
Why would
irresponsible.
you not choose to make a choice about your life?
About my life.
It's
Trump
your
ain't
life.
fucking up my life.
Yes.
I asked the nigga today, what has Trump done to fuck up my life? All right, now we had this discussion before about us being about fucking up your personal life and fucking up niggas as a whole. Yeah, I think Trump is gonna fuck niggas up as a whole, but not any more than Hillary would. Or it's just
Let me
fucking
tell you-
say
let me
shit.
tell-
But last one.
Go ahead.
In my life, Trump ain't did shit to me.
Trump done plenty shit to you. Ben Carson.
There
Okay,
you go.
is
What
the
did he do?
he is the Secretary of HUD. You know
My big
what?
mama on
You
HUD
know
right now.
You know what HUD is in charge of?
What?
They're in charge of making sure that people aren't discriminated against in housing. And
Well,
you know when that's
I
going to
told you,
count?
my baby
You
mama
know what?
would.
But let me tell you something. You know when it's going to happen? It's going to happen when you go to apply for a new mortgage to buy your new house, and somebody sit behind the counter and go, nah, this nigga's getting a little too dark for my taste. We're going to have to just say no.
What you talking about? You talking about HUD? You talking
I'm
about
talking
regular
about
mortgage?
HUD oversees that.
That's
You-
That's
see-
what they
see-
do.
See, the problem is
Yeah, but that shit ain't
people
affecting
see
niggas,
Washington
man. Niggas go
D.C.
buy a house when they
and
want
say,
to.
I don't live. Not if a motherfucker
Not
tells
if-
them they got
No.
to.
They gotta
That's why we
prove
had-
it.
You
that's
making
why
a
we had-
hypothetical situation.
I'm not making a
It's not
hypothetical.
hypothetical.
It's not a chance that you might buy a house.
Well, yeah, I bought a house and I ain't have no shit there, nothing fuck with.
Then-
Because you have
But
protection.
now-
If I buy one now, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me.
Let me tell you,
What are you talking
if
about?
it's nobody at the motherfucking department to hear your complaint when you say I went to Bank of America, applied for a mortgage, and I feel I was discriminated, and guess what? You get a voicemail every week, and you still don't get that house, then it'll be real to you. People think the distance between Washington and their individual life is a lot further than it really is.
That shit would happen with if that shit happened now, that shit would happen with Hillary.
Bruh,
Because
I'm
that Trump ain't
but
did shit
no,
for that.
that's-
Ben Carson ain't did shit to affect
But
that
wait,
now.
but wait,
That shit would
nah.
be the same either way.
Nah, wait a second. Because you can't have it both ways.
It can't be
You
both.
can't be mad about Steve Bannon being a fucking Nazi
A
in
true
the White
Nazi.
House.
Who mad about that?
Hold up.
All the crack are the same.
Hold up. Man, you can't be mad about Steve Bannon being a Nazi in the White House and the people that he appoints because, yeah, the shit trickles down. Yeah, he's the president. The president as a whole might not do shit. But Betsy DeVos don't care about education.
Oh,
And your
everybody
child go to
trickles
school.
What has she done
Start from
to
the top.
affect niggas?
Bruh.
And don't give me no hypothetical
Bruh,
situation.
bruh, when you got a woman,
What has she done?
you not letting me answer the fucking question.
You finna give a hypothetical.
Ain't no hypothetical.
No, you ain't, you black bitch.
Bro, no, I'm not. When you got a woman who literally says, I don't believe in the Department of Education, and I think it shouldn't fucking exist, and I'm going to move it to this and that.
Has
And
she
then,
done it?
wait. And then when the fucking budget come down, which just passed, by the way, when the budget come down, and they was like, hey, we gonna cut fucking education by $120 million.
Have they cut it before?
Yeah, not by that much. And then it was like, we gonna cut
Not by
education
that
by
much. Wait a minute.
$120
Wait a minute.
million.
It
It always get cut, regardless if she there or not. It get cut.
But you know what? If it was somebody in the office who gave a fuck about your kids, they wouldn't cut it by that much.
You
And
rather
if it
get
was somebody-
fucked raw than
If
That's
it was
bullshit.
if it was somebody who could do the job, you have a different outcome.
That's
You
dumb
can't,
as fuck.
you can't tell me that if your choice is I got a supervisor who know how to put in my time so I get paid, and one who don't know how to fill out the paperwork and I don't get paid,
Right.
that they the same damn thing.
If you got a choice between getting paid your right amount or your check being short,
No,
you
that's not
gonna
what
get
it
the
is.
right amount.
That's not what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's you got a point of being talked nice to, and your check not not the right amount, or you get a check and you get treated like shit, and your check get the same
I
amount.
disagree with
The
that.
check the
And
same
even-
fucking
and guess
amount.
what?
You
Even
just
that's the same-
picking
even
the
that's
check
It's
the
not
out.
the same amount.
You get the same amount.
No,
And
no,
guess-
it ain't.
So you mean to tell
Oh,
me
yeah, Bria.
you'll take the short check and
Bring
spit
it
in your
in.
face?
No, and
Oh,
you
what
take-
up?
you said-
I'm sorry,
My
Mr.
nigga-
Tank.
my nigga-
It didn't come in
My
on
nigga,
Wednesday.
it's not.
You
The,
said it's a short check. Bria, go ahead, Bria, in 10 minutes, because I want to hear Bria. Now, what you talking about? What you ain't look?
What you wanna hear me
I
say?
had a
Go ahead.
question. I had a question. And
Cause you too angry, bro.
No,
you
I'm not
stepping over
angry.
everybody. You done forgot your point 2 times already. We down 15 minutes into the goddamn podcast.
Read some comments. Read some comments.
Ain't nobody comment.
Cause they can't handle this shit. That's ridiculous.
Okay, tell me why Hillary Clinton, or no, tell me what Trump has done to affect your life. And when I say life, I don't mean that social media, the crazy shit, fucking Stormy Daniels. I mean you personally. What's different now than when Obama was president?
Do you realize that Trump is fully supportive of police officers? As in going
Blue
around
Lives Matter.
killing.
Whatever it takes.
You realize that he verbally is fully supportive of everything that cops are doing, which includes your life because you are a black man, which means that if a cop run up on you and shoot you and kill you, that nigga, he don't
He
care.
got the president's
Yes.
backing. The president said, "Do what you got to do."
Just for brothers and listeners, they act like this is an anomaly now that this is happening. The whole 8 years that Obama was in president is being police shooting after police shooting after police shooting.
But at least
It
Obama
wasn't
said it
endorsed
gotta stop.
by
And,
Obama.
okay,
It
all
wasn't
right.
endorsed by Obama.
Obama said it gotta stop.
He didn't
All right,
endorse it.
Obama
Whoop
ain't
did
Jesus.
whoop did
Let
whoop.
me tell
That
you
shit
something.
still happen. You want to get fucked raw instead of with lube. The shit don't matter. The shit still happen.
The
You
mountaintop.
still get the same check. It's just how you talk to.
Listen. Martin Luther King's mountaintop is a dream. But guess what? It's a difference in being at the bottom of the mountain where you a slave, the middle of the mountain where you free and being hunted down by the KKK, getting closer to the top where you're a free citizen, can work, own businesses, attend the choice of your church, buy a house in the neighborhood you want to, be the president of this country, and the very, very top where white people see us as equals. I don't think the very, very top is a realistic outcome.
Nah.
But I do think the closer we get to it, there is
Right.
a realistic
You might not
difference.
get to the peak, but let me
Because
get
guess
to the
what?
summit.
Ain't nobody called me a nigga out loud in public since I was 9 years old.
Hey, motherfucker, that.
Well, I was sitting outside man in the middle on the bus and bus stop, and they rolled by in a pickup truck, yelled out the window. It wasn't much for me to do.
You got it, Rocker.
I
You
got
got it.
I got
I
chase.
also had that.
I ain't
You got
chasing
me
no
this
truck in Mandarin. This they want.
I'm just
But
saying,
never
though,
again.
I'm just saying, and we gonna move on. But I'm just saying though, here go my thing with my whole slave analogy. Okay, when you look at slave masters or whatever, you know, people say that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson was good slave masters because they didn't beat their slaves. Now they did rape them, but they didn't beat their slaves. But here's my thing: if you a slave, my nigga, and you have the choice to either get whipped every fucking day for the littlest shit or never get whipped at all, wait, hold your tongue, and you choose to get whipped because you don't give a fuck, you're a fucking idiot because your strategy of escape is going to be a lot harder if you traumatize every day than it is when you got time to think and
You
plot.
physically beat down
You can
every
plot
day.
if you ain't getting
Ain't no
beat.
running away tonight.
But if you getting beat, my nigga, you can't plot. I can't plot with Trump. Cause Trump like, nigga, we guns,
You
suns
can
out,
plot
guns out.
with Trump.
You can plot on Hillary because at least she fake enough to
can
say,
plot
I'm
with
here
Trump.
for you.
there you go.
I'm here
can.
for you.
I take
So
those
she'll give me a
tokens of
little bit of
appreciation.
shit at first. She might not give me all the way, but she'll give me a little bit of shit at
You
first.
can plot with
Trump ain't
Trump.
trying to give you a motherfucking thing, my nigga.
No, you
Trump ain't
Alright.
trying to do nothing for you.
If I'm gonna go with the slave analogy, if I'm a slave and I had a choice of getting whooped every day or not getting whooped every day and still be a slave, either I'm gonna die or either way, whoever the slave master is, the shit gotta stop. All right, with progress, and even if I'm
Okay,
getting
come
whipped,
on.
and even if, and this is how I feel about the presidency. If you're not getting whipped every day, then that means you with a good slave master, and that means that you're gonna get complacent and stagnant with the position you in, and little by little, inch by
I
inch,
see your
maybe 300, 400 years from now, all right, you might be equal. Fuck that. I want every nigga to get whipped. I want every nigga to face.
So when
incarceration.
it's time for the Underground Railroad to come pick me up,
No.
I ain't got my strength because I done got beat all day and night.
I want every nigga to.
I want my kids to get beat every day because guess
Right.
what?
Yeah.
That way
Yeah.
they'll never
Yes,
forget
I
that they're
want
enslaved.
every nigga-
Let me
I
tell you
want
something.
every nigga to get
the
incarcerated.
The whipping is the last step to remind you a slave. That's
But-
the last
yeah,
step.
yeah.
You knew when you woke up in the shack
You
in the
already
back,
know.
If we
piled up on top of your uncle, auntie, and all these strangers that you was a slave. It don't take a beating them to tell me I'm
I
a
know
slave.
that already.
If the good house slave nigga ain't feeling what the field niggas is feeling, then it's gonna be complacent throughout history and
I
it's
see
gonna
your
last
point. It's
longer.
just-
The good house niggas gonna keep wanting to get Hillary.
Tell me what you see.
They gonna want to keep
Tell me
Hillary.
what you
in.
see when you see his point. What do you see?
What?
But
You see it? Where is it?
One more thing.
Because I.
The good house nigga. I know I like taking it over the podcast, but you gotta be emotional. The good house nigga see the nigga outside getting whipped, but he like, hey man, you getting whipped. Just a little progress at a time though. We
But
gonna
you know
get
what?
it.
But
All
then-
right? No, I'm not the good.
But
I
after-
want to get
nah.
whipped too. Fuck that if it's gonna be for the betterment
I'm
of
gonna tell
everybody.
Massa, you went a little hard on Harold. You ain't have to do him like that.
They gonna slap you in your mouth.
Harold
and
ain't
get
got
on
no
the field
voice.
and
No,
then-
But
he not.
Tank's point is that either way, you still getting messed up either way. If he feels like either you're gonna be somebody like with the Martin Luther King thing, and Malcolm X. Malcolm X was somebody who supported violence. Martin Luther King was someone who supported nonviolence. He feels like if you're somebody that's reserved and you're okay with the status quo, then you're not gonna want to fight either way.
But are
You
you
feel what I'm
telling
saying?
me-
Because you're complacent,
But
your
are you
life is
telling me
good.
that it's okay if those are my two choices to make no choice? That's
No, I'm not saying
irresponsible.
that. I'm just saying I
Can you-
understand
does
what he's
that-
saying.
can
She's trying to
can
articulate for
can
Tank. Don't
Yeah,
go last
okay.
episode.
Oh, I'm
Y'all
sorry.
check out last episode.
I'm just
Translate.
saying I understand.
Translate.
Yes.
She's trying to
Okay.
articulate.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is, I think you got it lost. I get what you're saying too, bro, when you explained it like that. But let me tell you something. You got it twisted. You lost a little bit because it's not about being a house nigga or a field nigga. Because we all field niggas. So all four of us is field niggas, and we gonna be a field nigga over there. But they saying you can go to the good master as a field nigga, or you can go to the bad master as a field nigga. Either way, you still a field nigga.
Ain't nobody
Ain't
signing
got
up
nothing to
for
do
no
with you being a
whipping.
house nigga and a coon. But regardless, I can negotiate with Hillary. We talked about this the other day when Black Lives Matter people went to Hillary and they was like, "What?" She was like, "What do you want?" And the Black Lives Matter people was like, "We want us to be recognized as black people and yada 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 and all this other stuff and everything else." And then what this nigga doing? And just want to keep going with the
Keep
podcast,
going.
boy.
He disgruntled.
And-
He disgruntled. He
Well,
can't
he
take
all the way
it.
off.
He disgruntled. It's too much.
But no, the Black Lives Matter people's like, we want y'all to recognize our struggle and this,
That's
that,
why we need an intern.
And the other, and we, yeah, that's why we
That's
need
why
an
we
intern.
need an
Bud,
intern.
where you at,
They
man?
got the
We
bottom
need you
just
to
like
put it in
that.
the box.
That's how
baby.
you feel?
But
Cowboy style.
But when
Because
they,
he got the bad master.
when the Black Lives Matter people basically gave her hyperbole of what they wanted, she
Yeah.
was like, I can't do nothing with that. You have to give me something. She was like, I can't change nobody's heart, but I can change the law.
And that's
You're
the
100%
those are the
right.
kind
She
those are
right.
the kind of
You're right.
differences
She
Barack
right. And that's
Obama
when I
made.
decided right there, okay, I'm voting for Hillary. Because you know what? That's a good decision. Because it don't matter if she with me or not. She want the power.
You're right.
Okay? So she's willing to negotiate with me.
She'll hear me
to
out.
keep her power. She'll hear me out.
She'll hear me
Trump don't even give a fuck what your negotiations is. He don't care about you. He's only negotiating with poor, redneck white people.
That's why I
and
ain't
then
vote
he
for
not.
him.
But wait, he's not even
Motherfucker.
really negotiating with them for real.
But by
Because
not
behind
voting
closed
against them,
doors,
you ain't do yourself
he
no
negotiating
favor.
with the rich people.
They dumb as fuck. The first people that he got with was the day after the first people he got with was the bankers. So what?
But
Why
no,
would
but
you
it
do the
don't it don't even matter if you say I'm not gonna take any side.
Right, so it don't matter. what it is.
Whatever come out,
We doing that
it,
ourselves.
I'm taking
No,
it.
I ain't
what-
taking any time because most niggas don't vote. And I knew
That's,
niggas. And I knew
don't believe that again. Alabama's,
No,
Tennessee,
that's a fact.
Roy Moore.
That is a fact.
Then how did Barack Obama win?
White people. What the fuck you think?
Nah,
Nah.
bro. Nah, bro.
Who
If
tilted-
white- if all white-
Not just
Somebody,
No, no, no.
somebody
Nah,
has to
bro.
Not
tilt the
just niggas
scale.
either.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Somebody
not-
has to
it's
tip
not
the scale,
just-
man.
But
But
not
guess
just
what?
niggas.
If it's a tie and we the tiebreaker and we say, you know what,
You know
we
what?
straight.
Right.
I mean, we a small portion of the population, but
But
we
we
ain't that
can,
small.
we can swing it
You
in
feel me?
district.
We
Barack
can-
Obama would have won without.
No, he
how
wouldn't.
many
No, he
niggas
wouldn't
voted.
have.
Oh,
Dang.
Oh.
How can you say that?
Do y'all
Tay?
remember the election? I'm not the only one that remember. How much Barack Obama won by?
But listen,
Do y'all,
here's why though.
You know how
But
much
wait,
you won
But
by?
wait, Barack Obama and Trump did the same
Do
thing.
you know how much you won
A
by?
lot, but listen.
A lot.
But listen to me.
If
A
you
lot,
think
bruh,
one
nation.
vote don't matter.
Listen to
Nigga,
me.
whoop them
Pause the
crackers.
podcast.
Wait.
Dang.
Yeah.
Google Electoral College.
Right. Listen. Hold up.
Yeah, let's talk about it too. We won.
Breaks. Listen. Trump and Obama did the same fucking thing. Niggas matter. Here's why niggas matter. Listen. When Barack Obama won, it was niggas voting who was 60 years old who had never voted before.
In their life.
Right? And all them niggas came out and voted, and that tipped the scale just a little bit with the white people. Wait, no.
With-
Trump won because he ran up the rural counties in those states because it was motherfuckers voting who ain't vote since Richard Nixon.
And niggas sat home.
And niggas sat at home, and it was rural white people from Live Oak, white people from Ludowick, Georgia.
But
that
Clinton,
came
where
out.
you at?
Yeah, the nigga won a county in Georgia cause 100%. Think about what I just told you. The Trump won a county in Georgia by 100%. When Obama ran for president, right? That same county had a 10% turnout, and Obama only had 100
Are you
votes.
telling me that Trump won because niggas ain't vote?
Yes.
Is that what you're
Yes,
telling me?
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
If niggas would have voted, Trump would
Trump would not have won.
He would not have
Let me
won.
show you why. Let me
All
show
right.
you why.
I ain't letting that argument if you say some shit like that.
That's it.
If you say some shit
In
like that, I ain't letting that argument.
Pennsylvania, who won Pennsylvania? Trump. In
Ain't
Pennsylvania,
none of that.
in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, it was a bunch of niggas just like you who was like, that shit don't matter, fuck that shit, and they ain't gonna vote. And because Hillary didn't run it up as high in the fucking metro areas, and Trump ran it up high as fuck in the rural areas,
this the-
she couldn't catch up.
And that's the other part of it too. This the impact that you lose. There's a difference between you not voting and sitting home, and when you go vote and you tell the next black person I voted.
That's true.
It has a growth factor to it. Cause guess what? If I'm saying I voted, you saying you voted, HB saying he voted. When not Nisha, CJ. Thinking about voting.
Bria, you
She done
CJ
heard
now.
it. She done heard it 3 times. She
Criminal
done heard it
justice.
3 times. And guess what? It's that little bit of push that turns our 3 votes into 4 votes and our 4 into 5. And we multiply our power. But when one of us sits down, we lose that multiplicative.
Multiplicity.
There it is. Growth factor.
Hey
I'm
man,
here for you.
check this out. What's the population of them niggas in America?
Enough to make a difference.
What's That's not true.
That is the number.
That's true.
How much is the population of niggas in America?
It's enough to make a difference. That's
I
why you
don't
see
know,
black
look it
people in
up. You
commercials.
said what?
The population.
That's
of
why I
niggas-
told you to cut that
All right,
computer
no. The population of niggas in America is at 10%.
11.5, but go ahead.
11. So you knew it, and you just ain't want to say it.
Oh, I knew you
bitch.
were talking about percentage. I thought you was talking
What
about
the
people.
hell I said, nigga?
Okay,
The
go ahead.
population.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Y'all niggas know how
Thank
much.
you, Bria, for looking it up.
Y'all niggas
Go
know.
ahead, bro. Go
Y'all-
ahead. Finish
But
it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
then I keep saying.
Now I'm doing this on purpose now. Go ahead.
I knew it. I knew it.
It's on you, bro.
Go ahead.
Y'all niggas know how much Trump won by.
In what manner? In what manner? Are you talking about electoral college?
Both.
Yeah.
Because he
Won
won.
the popular
but-
vote.
He lost the popular vote by 2 million.
He lost the popular vote.
But he won the electoral college. Just making my point.
Because he ran up the rural counties, nigga.
But-
You making my point.
No, you making my point because if he ran, you making me yell on the mic.
We already yelled. All my audio fucked up.
I was gonna say,
Facebook,
y'all
you
been
the
yelling
only
this whole
person-
time.
You the only person who getting the
When
good
Barack
audio.
Obama won the presidency, all of them motherfuckers didn't come out, and that's a fact.
And a number,
No,
of them came out for him.
No.
Because there are counties that Barack
talking about
won.
Barack.
I'm talking about Barack.
They came out for him, right?
They came out for him,
Thank
and then
you.
flipped against him.
That's my point.
What's your point?
That's my point. Or whatever.
The
That-
first
they-
time was closer than the second time. That's what Matt just said.
My point is, it was more white people for Barack Obama that voted, right, than was niggas.
I'm
And
not
there was
worried
more
about-
white people that voted for Trump.
Let me tell you something. I'm
Then
not letting you
voted
off.
for Barack Obama.
I'm not letting you off the hook for not voting. If you tell me white people made the difference,
They
and you
did.
ain't even take
White
a swing.
women made the difference.
If you
I'll
didn't,
tell you
even,
what,
if you
yeah.
didn't
White
even
women
take,
made
if
the
you didn't
difference.
even take a swing,
Right.
you can.
So,
the
hold on.
impact, the
Does that-
impact that you could have had, you said wasn't worth nothing.
Does that-
and that's cooning. You done said the white people will decide for me.
Does
Yeah,
that-
I said it.
Does that validate my point if I voted? Because even if I voted, Trump would have still won.
So to run a race and lose is the same as not lacing up your sneakers.
Well, if I voted, and
Yeah, bro.
If I
Is
voted,
it?
if
Is
I,
it the
Like
same
you- That's a
thing?
good analogy.
if I
If you-
voted and Trump still won, does that validate my point?
Is
My
running
point
the
validated
race?
regardless.
Let me tell you
How about
something.
you
No,
vote
it mean the
first?
next time it's a race, they know they're gonna have me on their back again. What you got, CJ?
No, I didn't vote for a point.
Nothing.
I didn't vote for a
We
point.
want us to move
Well,
on.
just go
We
to the
moving
next
on. Fuck that.
Y'all
Bring
can
it
argue
on.
about it. Y'all can argue about this after.
No,
I'm talking about black women.
no, wait, because I want to say this. That's a good point. Because if you make the Super Bowl,
Trump would have won
Wait.
regardless of niggas.
No, it wouldn't.
All right, niggas could have voted
Don't
and Trump would have
believe
still
that.
won.
That is not
That's
true,
not true,
Tank.
bro.
It's
That's
not
not
true.
true.
The facts
It's not-
presented
no,
don't
The numbers don't
support
say
that.
The disparity is not the numbers. What you're talking about, the numbers, the disparity is not big enough for Trump to be in the overthrown.
Location, location.
Popular vote, yes.
Electoral college is
My
location.
thing, that's what I'm
Hey,
talking about.
you know
location.
what? If you're not sure, black people, vote next time.
Yeah.
And let's just see
How
what
about
happens.
Let's see what
everybody
happens.
vote,
Let's
nigga?
just see how that shit goes.
Location doesn't matter.
Take a swing.
It does.
Yes, it does.
It's all about
It's
location,
not about
though.
elections if you
I
don't
do.
know locations
Trump
matter.
won the popular vote.
Tank will not be overseeing our election coverage.
Trump won the popular vote. All right.
No.
I mean, no, Trump didn't win the popular
No, he
vote.
did
once
not.
again-
But
Yeah.
he won the
Cut him
electoral.
off, DJ.
He won
Okay, this is
Cut
the
him
last
off.
one on this. I just
Electoral
want to say
college.
this. Where do black people majority live? In the city.
In the city.
In the city. And this is the city. And this is how elections work.
Metro.
Okay, if you're a Democrat, there are more rural counties in every state in America than there are metro counties. Okay? You are not going to win a state by fucking winning one metro county. The way it works, and you can watch CNN or Fox News and learn this shit real quick. They just talked about it during the Roy Moore election. You have to run that shit up. Run it up. So what happens is, I'm gonna use Florida for example, since it's a swing state and that's where we're from. So in Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, Miami, all the areas where there are minorities, you have to run those votes up. So when those live oaks and Lake Cities and Bradford County start coming in, they can't catch you.
There you go.
So if niggas in the city go vote, you ain't gonna win. And the reason why Hillary Clinton lost
Is
is
because
because
Niggas
Niggas ain't gonna vote.
You ain't gotta say no more.
She
Niggas ain't
did
vote.
not
It's
run-
because of the niggas.
but she
All
didn't
right.
run up the
Look at
metro
the niggas.
areas, and Trump caught her ass with a capital P. Okay, so we gonna move on.
That
because
nigga lied.
we gonna move on.
What's next on the menu?
Please, let's move on.
No,
Please.
what? I'm sick of Tank shit.
I'm sick of y'all.
He
I
work-
quit. I'm done with this bullshit.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Come on.
Quit now.
Just come with us to Good Master
How
House.
about that?
It's gonna be better.
Miss your candy ain't even back yet. You trying to leave? Don't quit now.
Hey.
Wait till you get back. Cause
I really want to get to the next topic though, because we done ran 35 minutes in it. Yeah, 35 minutes in, and we get to it.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead on. Make,
Master knew you was in the house. We have to
make that
burn these sheets.
introduction. Fuck the asshole. Go ahead on.
All right, next topic we gonna move on to. By the way, Martin Luther King, we honor him and respect his legacy, and we appreciate everything he did on that 50th anniversary. Shout out to Martin Luther King. Next thing we gonna do is move on to the next topic, black women. Okay, so this was something that we were kind of skirting on. Was we gonna talk about it or when we was gonna talk about it? But we said go ahead and talk about it because that's what Bria said. She's like, no, let's talk about it.
It's about that time.
It's about that time. So we want to talk about how black women are, perceived in the black community. Like, what do you think black women are perceived as? Now, of course, we have to start with Bria on this because she's the
I want
only.
a rebuttal.
Oh, she want a rebuttal. Okay, so we're not starting with Bria. I'm damn sure not starting with Tank. He don't even deserve. He had the whole last segment. The whole last segment was Tank segment.
Start with Matt.
So we start with Matt. Matt, how do you feel like black women are perceived within the black community or the world and community as a whole?
So I think there's two versions of the black woman in real life. On a personal level, we all as individuals know strong black women, heads of households, front runners in their careers. I know black doctors I'm related to, shout out sis. Black teachers I'm related to, shout out sis. And black women that are leaders in real estate, shouts out mom. And at the same time, there's this story that's pushed through music, through the news, that they all baby mamas, they sorry, they don't want nothing, or they independent ladies, they don't need no man. And in real life, the most successful women I know have good men, and the most unsuccessful ones have trash men, have girlfriends, or no man. And that's it. Either you got your shit together, or you don't, and it's really that simple. But it's more that do have it together, they just don't get that credit. And I probably think that's the most frustrating thing I hear from them, is that they not the raggedy baby mama.
I think that there might be a little bit of certain black women and white women falling in this too, because
I ain't worried about them.
Yeah, but we ain't worried about them. But certain black women fall into the perception of the baby mama perception.
Of course,
and they do that. Oh, Bria don't like that, but like they do it because they like, oh well, this how I perceive this.
But you know what? I have an excellent baby mama. I wouldn't trade her for nobody, baby mama, because my kid can read above grade level. I ain't worried about my daughter being shot out. Just to have a baby mama and think that you doomed to have a horrible child or a horrible relationship is foolishness. Because guess what? Some women got common sense, and guess what? They're gonna be all right. More often than not.
I think also one thing, I think black women are trash.
Fuck you.
Not trash. Not me. I say trash.
Oh, okay. Just emphasize on
No
those.
black women. I love y'all. Y'all my queens.
I'm for the sisters.
I'm for y'all.
Y'all almost lost
No,
me.
but I'm
Like,
saying,
what?
I'm saying that y'all, they trashed, like, by the media, by everybody. Like, I feel
agree.
like out of all the
agree.
types of human beings on the face of the earth, black women the lowest of the low.
I agree.
Like, I don't think, like, every black woman to me is always, like, portrayed as angry black woman, or either, like, mad black woman, or either ratchet black woman. You don't really see the success stories or whatever. And then I had actually wrote this down and because I wanted to talk about it when we were talking about it earlier this week. So I was watching How to Get Away with Murder, right? And you have Viola Davis and Kerry Washington. It was a crossover thing from Scandal, right? You know what I hate about both of them? Now, both of them are powerful black women within the show, right? But on Scandal, I had to stop watching it because Kerry Washington was just the president's bitch. Like, some white man just ruled over her, and we never can have just a strong, powerful black woman, period.
After
It
Oprah.
always have to be an and but or whatever. So
After
Kerry
Monique.
Washington's character in Scandal was a strong black woman who was doing all this moving and shaking, but yet every time Fitz come back, she's like, oh, Fitz, oh my God. And she couldn't figure this motherfucker out. That's crazy to me, bro. That type of stuff bothers me a lot. And Viola Davis, she's a strong black woman too, and everything, but she's like the bitch of the bottle, like, cause she's an alcoholic on there, and it rules over her. And then also her husband was white too, And he did the same shit. He was a dog. He cheated on her, and she kept going back and all that other stuff. Why we just can't have strong black women that's like, fuck you?
Hidden Figures, that was pretty good.
Hidden Figures was good. Brill, what you think?
You got something to say before I
What the
rebuttal?
people
Yeah.
say.
Go ahead, Brill. What you think? What you think? How you think
That's
black
what I'm
women are
doing.
perceived?
First of all, we're perceived as angry black women, and I'm so tired of that label. It's not even funny because first I got to be black, then I got to be a woman, then I got to be light skin or dark skin, and then I got to be angry all at the same time. And I just think
That's
all
so
of
many
that,
labels.
it's so many labels. I think it's all foolishness, and we have so much to carry as black women on a day-to-day basis. First of all, we got black men, and the fact that we have to see black men beaten down by the system and the heart taken out of them before they get to a certain age is like, that's a lot to deal with. You got to deal with our brothers, our fathers, our friends. We have to see that every single day. Then we got to deal with our sons and them being killed by the police and them being labeled, them in the streets and things like that. We got to worry about that. We got to worry about how we're labeled by white women. They think that, oh, I married a black man, so y'all ain't doing y'all job. Like, and the people think that we have to be like them, the whole damsel in distress thing, that we're supposed to be the weaker vessel and we're supposed to not be strong. And even though that's who we are, that's our genetic makeup. We have to look like them. We got to put on this makeup. We got to straighten our hair, all this kind of stuff. Like, all these labels that we have to go through all the time, like every single day, what we see on TV. Like, people think we have to be like that. And you wonder why you say we're angry. We're not angry. We just have a lot on our mind. We have a lot of things that we have to deal with in society.
I ain't in that mother.
What? You think
What?
black
See, this is
women
why
are
I wanted to
angry?
rebuttal. You should have went before me. Go ahead.
I told him to go before you. He said he didn't want to.
My fault. Let my
But
phone there. I can't see the face but a lot.
so tell me this. So why are black women angry?
And what does that even mean?
The same reason y'all all just said, because they been getting fucked over for too long. Niggas ain't the niggas with the not patriarch. That's white people. Misogyny, because we men. All right, so we have a tend to want them to be a certain way, and then they got to deal with the society. All right, who want them to be a certain way, and I'm talking about American women, right? Well, the bitches in Africa who don't wear no bras or they titties hanging like a motherfucker. They don't give a fuck about them crap, what them crackers say. But in America, the opinion of white people is so strong on the rest of society. So it really affects how a black woman carries herself and shit. So I think the best thing for a black woman to do is have the mentality of the women in Africa. All right, this is me. This is who I am. All right, you don't like it, I don't give a fuck.
But see, it's different though.
And it's harder. It's hard
different.
because
But in Africa-
we in this
Because you
society.
don't-
In Africa,
In
Africa,
the white people.
yes, in Africa, all they see is Africans on their television. They don't come home and turn on the channel and see a pale faced white girl with straight hair.
I'm
with
not,
red lipstick.
I'm not
Yeah.
blaming black women for that. I'm just stating what.
I see what you're saying. You're saying they're a product of their environment.
Yeah, what
But
it is.
at the same time, they can't be like African black women and just be like, fuck it, I don't care what you
We
think.
can't.
of
I
me.
wish they could.
But you
You
can't.
You
But
wish,
so-
but
But
that's
they-
reality.
Yeah,
Let me
wishing
tell you.
that, yeah, you can't.
It's not reality.
I'm living it every day.
Let me tell you, it's
fuck
hard.
what these crackers think of me. I got dreads, I got goals, but when I want to be, I'm articulate. I don't give a fuck if they say I talk country or I talk ignorant. I don't give a fuck about none of they got them opinions.
But you're a man, so you
All
can
right?
do that.
No,
Because
well,
a man have more privilege than a woman.
you got your motherfucking mind, boy.
No, you.
Whoa, no,
wait a minute.
Tank,
Hey,
no,
look,
Tank. You can't go that
Tank,
far.
where you
You
from?
can't,
Wait.
Tank. You
You
can't.
gonna tell me that in America, a black woman doesn't have a better chance
When
at
people
advancement
when
than a
minority
black man?
when black people got the right to vote, you know who got the right to vote first? Black men.
Hey.
Yeah,
Black women weren't involved in that when we got the right to vote. Black men got the right to vote, and then
Y'all
we didn't get the
already-
right to
Yes,
vote.
you did. Women got their right to vote when?
No, they didn't.
Women
No,
got
we
the right.
didn't.
Not
Women,
black women.
no.
Not black women.
Women got the vote right when?
After in 1920 something.
Google it.
When did black people get their right to vote?
2016.
18 something.
No. When did black?
18 something.
No. Their real right to vote, not without.
Yes,
look
without
it up,
look it
their
up.
real right to vote.
Wait,
Without Jim Crow.
See, now,
not all
that's
that
what I'm
other
saying.
shit.
You can't determine that.
Yes, you can because niggas still weren't able to vote.
No, that's what
No,
I'm saying. Though.
and
I get
just
what you're
saying
saying.
you
Niggas
have
still
the-
weren't able to vote.
No, just saying you have the right to vote also don't
right.
mean that you can't actually go
Right.
and vote. Because if you have to go to an election office and count how many jelly beans in a
That's what I'm
jar,
talking about.
that okay, right? So
That's
there's
what I'm
that
talking
part.
about.
But
But black women
in
gotta-
real life, if the choice is between Harold and Sharonda, Harold gonna win.
They got
because
the-
guess what? Even the white man respect another man more than he do a woman.
Exactly.
But they got the chance to vote at the same time that we did.
No, they
No.
didn't. Because
When were black women
listen
able to
what I'm
vote?
listen what I'm telling
When
you.
white women got the right
No.
to vote.
In 1920.
I'm trying to answer your question, but you keep asking the same damn question over and over. Calm down, man. God damn.
When did black women get a chance to
Okay,
vote?
black people got the right to vote in the 1800s. Black men as people. But listen to me. Then
All right.
you had the women's suffrage movement, which was in the 20s. White women were eligible to vote first. Black women were not eligible. They weren't a part of the suffrage movement. They had to keep fighting, and they got their rights legally 7 or 8 years after the white women. So they
Before-
were last.
Okay, they got their rights 7 years after 19 what?
After 1920 something.
1930 is when black women got the chance to vote, right?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
When did black people really get their chance to vote?
But see, that's what
After
I'm saying.
Jim Crow.
Yeah, but you can't determine that.
Yes, you can because niggas
Listen
weren't
what
able to
I'm
vote
saying.
then
Listen
either.
Listen what I'm saying, because you tripping.
It's the same thing.
You're not listening. Listen what I'm saying. Jim Crow is definitely a thing, and niggas couldn't vote during Jim Crow. I get that, but on paper,
On paper.
legally, you could vote. Just because you had to go down to the office and count from 99 million backwards times 3, and they couldn't do it.
Niggas couldn't do it. Why did Martin Luther
Why
King?
did that end?
We just talked about Martin Luther King for this whole time,
End that for me, man.
and Martin Luther King whole thing was about voting rights. How we gonna say that means his legacy didn't mean nothing? All right, it means something for the black women. His whole legacy was about black women. It wasn't about black men because men already had a chance to vote.
Yeah, just turn it off in that. But you can't.
Yes, I can because niggas weren't able to vote.
Bruh, you saying that we weren't able to vote because they physically stopped us from voting.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand that. But by law, we technically were able
By
to
what
vote.
law?
But,
Who law?
but more importantly, getting back onto our main topic, I think one of the saddest things that we have seen has really been how we as individuals portray our own black women. Because guess what? The thing that makes me the sickest is when a girl call another girl a bitch. I don't know why that blow my mind, but when I hear a woman call another woman, bitch, that breaks my heart. Because you know what? If I call you a bitch, we've been fighting for a long time, and I'm just trying not to put these paws on you. To hear y'all say it so casually,
I have
you know,
no problem with that.
You have no problem. That's fine.
That's their shit. They don't mean it in that way when they say it.
And that's fine.
We should understand
But
that.
you
We
know
should
what?
understand
No,
that.
it's not that I don't understand it. It's that I don't ever want my daughter to feel like it's to get comfortable with people calling her a bitch.
Not comfortable.
Because I ain't raising her to be a bitch. I don't even want her best friend to think that she a bitch. She can call. There's so many other words she can use.
But you're using your perception of it or whatever.
Right, because I'm a black man. I'm not a black woman.
But when she says that, and just like a white man would have their perception of a nigga saying nigga to a nigga. Well, her perception, your daughter, like I don't give a fuck if my daughter call her friend bitch. But because my perception of that word is not her perception, she has a different perception. When she says bitch, it ain't disrespectful. Or when her friend call her bitch, it's not a disrespectful thing. It's just, hey, bitch.
There's certain things you should never get used to. And that's just the way
See, I think that's part of the problem. I think that's where we are as a people, man. I was talking to somebody about this earlier, man. When you watch your people as a whole, like Bria was saying, when black women got to watch black men get beat down and done all kinds of ways and shit like that, that affects you or whatever. And then when you, as a black man or a black person in general, every day you turn on the TV, you see a nigga dying. Yeah. Every day you see something negative, you see something hurtful, you see something, that shit, bro, people get PTSD all the time. That shit emotionally fucks with you. Yeah. And we have this persona that we want to be the hardest motherfuckers on the face of the earth. So we damn sure can't deal with our emotions. So then when we have this shit happen and we get emotionally fucked up with PTSD, then we wonder why we run around here saying these things or doing these things. It's because we emotionally beat the fuck down, man. We as a people, we're broken and we hurt because we done had 400 years of bullshit. And then now we trying to come together to get to a certain place. We can't even agree on simple shit like if Barack Obama is a leader. Like that shit crazy.
But that's okay though.
That's okay.
And that is
Because,
okay.
because we're not looking to get to a one black consciousness.
Right.
We not.
That's not a goal.
We not. But we got to get to a black consciousness.
That's fine.
It can be multiple
But-
consciousness,
and
but
it-
niggas ain't conscious.
But it is conscious niggas, and again, I feel like that's something we come through every week is we don't give ourselves enough credit. Is there another Martin Luther King? No,
No.
because Martin Luther King was great and special. That's why he gets the holiday. That's why he is so important. But there's still Cory Booker. And I feel bad because my girl Pamela Harris,
I love Cory
Camilla,
Booker.
Camilla, California.
Oh, I know what
You know who I'm talking
Camilla
about.
too. I
Yeah,
thought
Camilla.
that-
It's not like it's not niggas making a difference in smaller regions. They may not have the international, global impact that Dr. King had going to India messing with Gandhi, but at the same time, we still have a role to play. And when we're fulfilling that role, even if you just the best nigga in your neighborhood, making sure that the kids get to the bus and get to school on time, if that's all you're doing, that makes a difference for the next generation.
Camilla.
Because-
I'm just talking. Go keep talking.
Oh, okay. That makes a difference. Okay, it's a lot different than the dude who see kids sitting around throwing rocks at empty houses and just saying that's fine because even if they go to school, they're gonna teach them the white man way and we ain't gonna never be nothing. It's a difference, and every little difference matters. We can't make 1,000,000 miles in one generation, but every step is better for our lives and the lives that come behind us, and we owe them that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's plenty good.
That was it.
I just want to say, Camilla, if you out there listening, all right, we ain't gotta tell. You probably married.
He don't even want to say
Oh,
that. He don't even
my
want to tell you that,
Look,
Camilla.
look, this between me and you.
All right.
My wife ain't
So-
got to know nothing. All right,
But you will.
just slide through my DM, baby.
You're not in control,
Oh
man.
my God, what's going on?
We're looking for an
What you was
intern.
gonna say, Bria?
We're looking for an
We looking for
intern.
an intern, please, Bud. Where you at? This podcast
Hey,
is a
Camilla.
disaster.
Cold.
Boy,
Oh,
girl, look here.
Tim,
Uh,
Marcus.
we going that far?
That old,
We record
No.
fools.
Cut Mike 3.
No.
Mike 3.
that old,
Cut Mike 3.
that old pussy. Look here, Camilla.
All right.
Before you get to your point, I just want to give a shout out real quick to Bud and his wife for helping us out on Bruh Listen, getting us the new banners.
Shout out.
We appreciate it. Bruh Nation, we appreciate all the love. Remember, if you want to holler at us and get your business on the podcast, Bruh Listen Podcast at gmail.com, or you can hit us up on the Facebook where we live stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. Back to the grind. Bria, now go ahead and tell me what you was about to say with your point with this situation.
I think that we're mistaking anger for strength, especially in the black community. Like, we are angry and things like that, but we are strong because we have to be, from all the things that we have to encounter on a day-to-day basis. Like, white people, they let the fact that they are scared rule them. And I don't think that we're taking enough advantage of that. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that
Yeah, right.
Running it on them. We should be running it on them.
I'm serious though, because when given the opportunity, just like I do not remember the name of the city in Alabama that they bombed. What's the name of it?
Oh, that's Oklahoma. Black Wall Street?
Yes, no, there was a city.
No,
there was a city.
The school girl.
Oh, when they bombed school?
We're not historians.
No.
Well, we done
There
had
was a
Oklahoma
city.
I
No,
done named
there was a
two
city.
separate tragedies.
There was a city where black people were very prosperous. They had their own banks. They were living in their own communities.
Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Yeah,
there
that's
you go.
Oklahoma.
That's Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought it was Alabama. But and the white people were so jealous about how much we were progressing, how good we were doing without them. Let me hint on without them.
There you go.
They were so jealous that they had to make up this story about a black man raping a white woman, and they bombed the city. You get what I mean? I just don't think that we're using the strength that we have towards the right things.
I don't think that we're publicizing the strength that we use
Exactly.
enough to give our own people the credit and motivation to think, okay, I can make the next difference.
And I'm so sick of all this. All we are is football players and basketball players and singing hip
Those
hop
the house
and
niggas.
I'm so sick of it.
They
Can we
doing
do
good.
But
something
you know
else?
why that is though? It's because like the media.
Dancing for
That's
Master.
why stuff like this podcast is cool because honestly, we just folk niggas or whatever, and we just talking or whatever. And this podcast is an outlet that we doing to try to get out a message, get out our thoughts. But on a mainstream media focus or whatever, because this podcast is on Facebook and it's on like Google Play and stuff like that, and you got to find it and search it. But the stuff that's pumped in your face and put in your face is the angry black woman, the LeBron, everybody's LeBron James, all black people hoop, all black people this, that, and the other. They ain't trying to put Neil deGrasse Tyson in your face. Now they've been doing it lately, but that's because they don't know that bro woke yet. They think Neil deGrasse Tyson a coon, and that's one thing about the
You
man.
seen his wife?
Huh? Yeah, I know, but they don't make him a coon though. We'll have to get back to that. But you know,
Boy, that white man really for.
it's one of those things where you gotta look at it like this, man. Like white people, they'll think they'll support you 100% as long as they think you cooning. The moment they find out that you're not a coon, you dead to them. Tiger Woods, O.J. Simpson, Ray Lewis,
They still love
Michael
Tiger,
Vick.
though.
But the way you get back in, then you have a choice. Your two choices after that point is to either get back in their graces by cooning harder, Ray Lewis, Michael Vick, or either
Ben Carson.
or Ben Carson, or you either got to choose to be with your people or whatever. But most people just choose to coon harder because you get more money like that.
Man, Carson to kiss a white person's feet, boy.
That's because Ben Carson like one of the biggest coons
He'll think
in
they
all of
he'll
society.
think they motherfucking Jesus. Come
Yeah,
here,
he
bring
used to
bring
be-
that foot to me, goddamn.
And he should be respected and revered in our community. And
I
he
want
sold
to.
out. I really want to too. I really want to teach.
Man, the man is one of the greatest surgeons of all time.
That's like that.
We can't even show love because you
you
you sold
cooning,
out
you
for
just
Trump.
ruined it. You,
Right.
But you know what nigga told me? Man, one of the best brain surgeons is like being the best mechanic. Goddamn it, that's a specific
skill.
skill. So it's not like
I think
you got to be
I think he's
intelligent.
downplaying it though, because you know what? I can take any nigga, in my opinion. This is an opinion, so I can take any nigga and I can show them like, yo, this is what I need you to do mechanically to fix a car. I don't think you can take any nigga and do brain surgery. Now,
I think you
learn
can.
it? Your ass ain't doing no
No,
brain
no,
surgery.
no.
but-
I can't fuck with a car, but I think if you could do a car, then you could do brain surgery. It's just a matter of confidence and who pushing you. All right, who will go which way, because a car is just as complicated as a goddamn brain. Goddamn it, my car fucked up.
And that's why you can't go to 9 weeks of high school and become a mechanic.
Yeah, it's a trait.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah,
It's a lot more going on under the hood.
But see, that go back to earlier when we was talking about leaders and we was talking about Obama and stuff like that. Obama, regardless if he's a civil rights leader or if he's the next Dr. King, he damn sure should be a black leader in the community. The man was the president of the United States, and he's never fucked up. He's legitimately never fucked up.
He's good for
So-
all Americans.
right, but he's good
That's
for all
fine.
Americans.
And not
That's
specifically.
fine.
No,
It's
not
cool.
specifically.
Oh.
He's good for all Americans.
Bro, you know what? We gonna
He's
have
good for all
a
Americans.
we're not friends
wait,
on this pod.
we gonna have a whole podcast on Barack Obama because you
That's it.
you killing me.
You got to know about
Because I
44.
was saying,
If you don't know about
we
44,
can't even get into
we can't
it.
even
We
help
can't
you.
even
What
get into it.
time?
We ain't got
How
no
much time
time.
we got?
We ain't got
We
no
ain't got
time.
enough.
We ain't got no time.
I
We
just
can't
know
even
the
get
voter
into it.
shit, and y'all niggas
You-
was wrong. I
you
just
can't-
want to let
It'll be in the comments
iTunes let
All
y'all
right.
niggas know that.
All right.
You get into the final thought.
We not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah,
But at the end of the day with the whole black women thing or whatever, and we was gonna get to black men and how they perceived or whatever, and I think it's basically the same thing or whatever. The difference is black men feel like they have a swag and they should be a certain way, and black women or whatever are told what way they should be or whatever. But that being said, at the end of the day or whatever, regardless of how black women are perceived or whatever by white people or anybody, us as black men should treat them like queens, period, point blank, end of story.
If nobody else
If you don't
do.
think a black woman in your life, it should be like the greatest thing that's in your life, you slipping. And you damn sure
Whoa.
cool. Your wife is a black woman. She the greatest thing in your damn life.
How about your mama?
What are you talking about? Your mama is a black woman.
Dog-
What, you
Right.
want to be counterpoint for every damn thing?
No,
just to
I'm
be
not. No,
counterpoint.
I ain't
You
even.
wildin'. No, because you said whoa, and I ain't gonna allow it. I rebuke
No, you will not. Not
Not
sitting
my
next to
guy.
me.
you. Yeah, no, that's
No.
bullshit.
Not my guy.
Did I even say anything
I
that
said
was
a black
counterpoint?
woman, I say it again, a black woman in your life. If the black woman is in your life, she should be the major thing in your life, period, point blank. End of story.
Whoa.
Ain't no argument.
I said it again. Whoa.
You wildin'. Take
What kind of black woman?
the black woman in your
I don't
life.
deal with white bitches, so I only fuck
You
with
ain't,
black
co-
women.
you ain't confused about who's a good black woman
Right,
in your
what are
life.
you talking about?
You ain't
Oh.
confused
I
about
don't
which
know what
ones.
you're trying to
You,
do.
you're not
Can
confused.
I repeat his sentence? His sentence was, if a black woman is in your life, she should be regarded as the greatest one ever. Switch is in your goddamn life, boy.
You know what though? Let me tell you
I
something.
love Switch, but she is not one of the greatest black women
Let
ever.
me tell you something about Switch. Switch, you know what? That's my mom, and we have our differences and stuff like that. But I darn sure don't disrespect her like she's not
There
a
we
queen.
go.
Now we might have our arguments and
Right.
shit like that, but I don't low down my mama.
just 'cause she
My
ain't
nigga,
a
just
queen
'cause
don't mean she gotta be a
you
footstool.
wildin'. You wild.
You ain't gotta beat her like a rated mule.
I damn sure gonna treat
Now
her
look.
better than a
No,
white
no,
man
no.
do.
No, she's not a footstool to crackers. All right? But that's not acting like black men don't have their own patriarchy.
Well, we don't have to come back to this, boy.
We don't talk about black women in part two.
we'll
Cause y'all
come
niggas
back
ain't
to
being real.
We,
Fuck y'all
We
niggas.
out of time.
I quit.
You out of control.
Thank God for the clock.
Yeah, we thank God.
Thank God for the
Thank
clock.
God.
Control the whole pod.
Listen.
But don't ever have no secret.
Tune
again,
in for episode 5 when thing goes to rehab. We gonna fix it,
Man,
Jesus.
that nigga, that man, I
Fix it,
have no
Jesus.
idea what the hell was wrong with you today.
First of all, I'm a black feminist, and I like to let y'all know.
He don't even mean
Okay,
that.
let's go. Final
He don't
thoughts?
even mean that.
Man, we gonna go
No, I
around. We gonna go around with the final thoughts, man. Matt, what's your final thought, man?
Brianna, turn your back on me.
The best way to mourn your lost loved ones is to live a life that honors their wishes.
There you go. Shout out to Dr. King one more
One
time.
more time, say that again. I had a peak game.
The best way to mourn your lost loved ones is to live a life that honors their wishes.
There it is. Okay, yeah.
Shout out to Dr. King. Go ahead, Tank. What's your final thought?
My final
Final thought.
is I want shit to get worse and worse for niggas until it's a revolution. Alright? Because as long as it's the status quo, we're going to keep moseying along. And fuck it, I keep moseying along because I'm good. But a lot of niggas going to get fucked up while we going. So wake up, niggas. That's it.
Yeah, wake up. Bria, what's your final thought?
I want to encourage all black people to get your education, please. Learn how to be something other than a rapper, other than a basketball player, football player. We don't have to be that way anymore. We're not dancing for massa anymore. Get your education, get your smarts together, do what you got to do. Graduate from college, graduate from high school. Be smart, be educated, and go out there and do something different. Go out and do something that's going to change our lives for the better.
That's what's up. And my final thought, Bruh Nation, is, you know, even if you disagree, come together for something or whatever. Come together for something. Like Matt said, Dr. King wanted us to be together as one and ascend to the mountaintop. And we might not see the peak, but let's get to the summit, dog. And we only can do that together. So put our differences aside and let's come together for something, man. We appreciate everybody listening. All power to the people. Peace.
Peace.